Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to Ixion. I'm Afro Luigi, and I've made some changes. This is all fully set up. I had to turn off waste recycling in this sector because I had too much waste. As you can see here, this was 56. This is full, and I've still got waste because I got too much iron right now. There was like 4 iron depots when I started, and I've been shuffling things around, waiting, using it up. And, well, I also shuffled all of this around. As you can see, I've completely redesigned this sector. And I took the docking bays out of these sectors to max out my specialization in space here for the bonuses. Because hull repair being 20% more efficient is so handy. Because our hull is now sitting basically at full. Not quite full, but basically at full. A few more cycles should fill it out. And I've got space here for 2 more of these basically exterior modules is I guess the best way to describe them. Modules that let me access the outside. And I've moved everything over here, created a whole bunch more storage things, so it can get shipped off elsewhere. This stock, I built it just because I needed extra space for alloys. It's off now because I don't need the extra space for alloys. I might, depending on how my power things go, I might start gathering hydrogen and putting it there. I don't know yet, so I'm just leaving it off for now. Oh, wait. I know what to do with it. Bam. Cryonics. I need a place for cryonics. There. As you can also see here, I have a lot more energy available. That's because I ended up with way too many polymers, so I built a couple more solar panels just to use them up. And if we go here, you can see I have fully mined out the system except for hydrogen, which I'm not using, so don't need it right now. Might slap it in here later, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I also, I put this here just to mark off how much space I have available, because if I put 2 docks here, it'll fill up all of this area from this end here to this corner, and so I'll have this little bit here. So I might end up doing something with that, and this place is also empty as well. So yeah, let's see anything else I've changed. Oh, I moved most of the people here into cell housing, just because. I'm in the middle of researching the stability improvements for the memorials. So once that is done, this will be back to a positive. It's only neutral right now. Everything else is positive. Just because actually, is this one also having to deal with the most people living in? Yeah, most people here live in cell housing as well. I think most people are going to end up living in cell housing, especially since I was looking ahead at some of the techs we can get. I've upgraded the DLS center with total monitoring, which gives an extra dot of propaganda, so that really helped as well. But eventually, once we have the iron, and the science, we're going to research the Exo Fighting Dome. It provides +2 stability and the sector, and it can be extended to each sector connected via trains. And actually, I'm pretty sure we can upgrade that further, especially once we get trains. But I think first I'm going to upgrade my polymer refinery just to reduce the amount of carbon needed, and the electronics factory as well. The electronics factory is 2 upgrades to reduce the amount of silicon we need. I also want to upgrade. I basically want to upgrade everything, but I'm trying to plan out ahead. I think the best bet for after the memorial is done is upgrading my probe launcher, because I can increase the scouting radius by 40% and then 80%, which means we'll need less probes to uncover resources. But that's basically it. We are going to wait. Actually, we're at the start of a feeding cycle now, I think. Let's see. Are they all the same? Yeah, they're all the same. So let's go out here. There's nothing left to do here. We're still on the far side of the system. Let us initiate the Ixion engine.
Charge. In accordance with Frau Stanford procedures, all ships must return to the Tiqqun before volt jump initiation.
Alright. Interesting, the farm's battery seems to be draining.
Engine ready.
The farm seems to have been draining faster than the other places. Alright, because the fusion plant was on. Thing making water. The crew of the Protagora should go the Frostpunk route on that planet that was cold but habitable, barely. One with 2% chance of survival. Just go the Frostpunk route. Just build giant generators. Find some coal. All right, let's see what we're dealing with. What the hell? What is that? That can't be the Etemenanki. That's too big to be the Etemenanki.
Full jump complete. Running preliminary diagnostics. Expected irreversible damage to the Tiqqun detected. We have not reached the exoplanet Remus. Tiqqun primary sensors are picking up vast amounts of debris. Act with caution, Administrator. We must reach Remus.
So why didn't we reach Remus? So what? I guess it's. Can I zoom out? What happened here? Okay, that debris isn't the whole system. I thought that the debris was the whole system. That is a huge storm, though. Let's find some iron first. Actually, we don't need iron to begin with. Let's start with the science. Bargeville, check out that destroyed command center. Resume.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Initial reports indicate that we have found... That is the Etemenanki? Holy shit, that thing was huge! The UN ship appears to have been what the hell would attack something that big? Although the command center of the Etemenanki is heavily armored, the structure suffered terrible bombardment. It appears as if something sliced through the larger superstructure of the Etemenanki. This must have dislodged the center and separated it from the rest of the ship. Numerous pieces of debris and corpses float around the ruin. We have located a breach within the armor plating that should allow us to get inside. Do it! We need to figure out what the hell happened here. We also need to build another probe. See, we have we have lots of alloys. What we need is carbon for polymers. All right, industrial zone wreckage. That might have polymers.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Where's the request? Section 3. Administrator, sector is converted to the cult of the hull. This has had a positive impact on the morale of the crew. The converts are waiting to hear your opinion on their worship. Sanctifying the Tiqqun and its facilities does not directly violate any Dolos directives. At least it's not the veneer guy. It's worshipping Bargeville. The Tiqqun is a body that holds its skin. We are its blood. Anything to give people hope and stability. That's what they need right now. What's going on in Section 4? Administrator, the crew are encouraged by how many survivors we have brought aboard the Tiqqun. The increase of population reinforces the feeling that our goal of saving humanity is achievable. The new crew members, woken from cryonic pods, are now part of something bigger than themselves. Awesome. Trust bonus plus 10%.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
You know what, let's gather up that science first. Alright. Scans have detected large quantities of steel around what appears to be the wreckage of the Etemenanki's industrial zone. We have arrived at the view is intriguing. In addition to the general debris and bodies that float everywhere, there are large piles of previously molten metal that have solidified when the area was exposed to the vacuum of space. The zone has been ripped open, and much of the interior appears to have been blown away. The structure tear extends into a storage area full of suspended yellow particles. Check that out before doing anything else.
A science ship team has completed a task.
And we'll wait for this research to get done.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Alright, what do we want to research? Right, I was going to upgrade our probes. Alright, we were going to find also some polymers. Hopefully we don't have to go into that storm. I wonder how safe that storm is for our ships. Anyways, straight commander. The frozen rooms through which the Bargeville's team have had to navigate are from a nightmare. Projectile damage covers most surfaces, and there are signs of electrical fires having raged throughout the corridors. This is not to discount the ever-present grim sight of severed corpses. Upon entering the bridge, the team discovered the bodies of the commander-in-chief and other officers. It appears they took their own lives. Interesting. We must retrieve the Remus data. The Tiqqun should be kept in close proximity to the command center. This will allow the Bargeville's team to use the station's power via the retractable telescope pole and access the center's terminals. Okay, recover the data.
A probe has completed its scan.
It's like, what, 1 point off? Yeah, it's exactly 1 point off from being able to complete the probe upgrade. You know what, let's wait for the probe upgrade before we do anything. It's only a few cycles away. Now we've got water and we've got carbon. We got lots of alloys stored up, so... Of course, the tech lab gets disabled.
A science ship team has completed a task.
The team followed the trail of yellow particles through the vacuum to another section of the Etemenanki's wreckage. It appears to have been at least partially spared from the destruction that we have seen elsewhere. The particles come from the crushed and damaged flowers of yellow squash. A bed of these frozen plants surround a large bronze sculpture, a depiction of Earth crowned with laurels. Many messages have been left near the sculpture, railing against the perceived enemies of humanity, Dolos and the Ashtanganites? Who are they? I guess we're going to find out eventually. A plaque at its base reads, "Against the cynicism that kills hope, against the madness which precipitates hell, to perpetuate the genius of humanity and the memory of our life on Earth." Against the cynicism that kills hope, against the madness which precipitates hell. Okay, I like the first part about that, but the that second part, to perpetuate the genius of humanity and the memory of our... That genius of humanity is a bit self-congratulatory. There's a compartment beneath the plaque in which a sealed time capsule is found. It seems possible it could be opened. I'm curious what's in that capsule. Sure, the resources are nice, but I want to know what the hell's in that capsule. I need to get rid of the... Well, actually, we have too much water right now. That's also a problem. Oh, do I not have a place to store ice over here? I do not. I do now. Oh, science team is completed. Straight command center. Administrator, the Remus coordinates aren't here. As you know, Vol coordinates are incredibly complex algorithms that require advanced technology for their storage and application. We did identify a storage area within the command center where such equipment, perhaps including that stolen from the Protagoras, should have been held. It has been ripped away, shorn by cutting lasers, and taken. There is small hope. A single damaged calculator terminal was found. Power supplied from the Tiqqun has allowed us to access it. It appears that in the Etemenanki's final moments, while they attempted to address the colossal damage done to their ship, the crew were able to identify and record the self-similar signature of their attacker as it withdrew. Perhaps they hope to later mount some sort of pursuit to recover the stolen coordinates of Remus. We are now in possession of that signature. It belongs to the Piranesi, a ship of the Black Market Society. We encountered one of their facilities back in Seoul. This is where our hope fades. The few officers' logs we have found that detail the attack are terrifying. It seems highly likely that the coordinates of Remus are now on board the Piranesi. Having processed the data we have found within the center, and thanks to old recordings of now inactive distress signals, we have been able to locate other parts of the Etemenanki which have drifted across this system. I want to know more about the attack. Oh, I should have grabbed that science first. Oh well. Administrator, the debris field we've entered is mostly composed of corpses. The floating bodies bump against the hull and create sounds that reverberate through the Tiqqun sectors. This has not proven beneficial for crew morale. DLS reports indicate that EVA crews are discussing their experiences working outside the Tiqqun with colleagues in the mess halls, compounding the problem. I can't say I blame them. That shit, the Etemenanki was huge. It probably held thousands upon thousands of people. Inside the capsule were toys and other everyday items. Several objects were of unknown purpose. There was a pocket of newspaper clippings that revealed some of what happened after the Tiqquns first entered self-similar space. There was a total collapse of Earth's ecosystems, accelerated by the moon's destruction. In response, the United Nations installed a totalitarian government of planetary surveillance to protect the population from eco-terrorists and the continuous wave of pandemics. They prioritized corporate practices that supported the environment and its preservation. That doesn't seem likely. Individual responsibility seems to have become paramount. Numerous legal ramifications were implemented to counter any further acceleration of ecosystem destruction. In this time of crisis and guided by the government, society seems to have turned on politicians, extremists, immigrants, and conspiracy theorists. One after the other, they portrayed them as possible scapegoats, holding them responsible for 250 years of industrialization, market disruption, superficial society practice, moral decay, and hyper-consumerism. The Etemenanki was to be the Great Ark, the global project that would save humanity. Only those deemed well-behaved in the eyes of the government would be allowed on board.
Incoming message.
I need to mute that.
Incoming message.
The Ashkenites, fanatics of mysticism and proponents of genetic manipulation, were left behind on Earth with the deviants and dissidents. Okay. Can I close this and gather the science? Yes, I can. There. Advanced sensors. We can now start researching Faust tachyon sonars. Corpse field. The station is surrounded by floating corpses. The crew's morale will be affected. Oh, these guys are working extra conditions. Why the hell are these guys working extra conditions? Oh, the extra things. So let us turn off. What aren't we mining? We aren't mining that. We aren't mining that. Let us bring in 10 more people. Only workers from Sector 4, Sector 1. We'll start there, and we'll see how that goes once that migration is done. Alright, all the science has been retrieved. Let's see. Investigate the storage area first. Let's see if there's any valuable resources to extract. Now we can start launching the probe. Oh, that's a huge difference right there. Look at all that. That is amazing. I love the upgraded probe.
A science ship team has completed
As the Etemenanki
a task.
paused in the Crux system, it was surprised and attacked by the Piranesi. Reports indicate colossal casualties. The UN crew was able to find a flaw in the Piranesi's defense systems and managed to mount a boarding assault. The Piranesi responded by firing its main weapons before fleeing the system. The last survivors of the attack who could not enter cryonic pods either died from the cold or slowly asphyxiated in the days that followed. And let's find out the previous mission objectives. Oh, I should have gathered science. Oh well. We still have 10 science to use. What do we want to upgrade? Probes have been upgraded. Right, I was going to upgrade the polymer factory and then the electronics factory to use less resources so we're more resource efficient. How's the migration going? Almost done.
A probe has completed its scan. Population transfer complete.
Alright, now how is this place doing? It doesn't have many extras, and the most... We want at least enough that if the tech lab goes down there, it's not pushed into overworked. So let's bring in 10 more. We'll do 10 more, and if we end up needing more, we'll bring them in. How are we doing on housing? If we need to bring any more, then we'll need to build more housing, apparently. Okay, let us turn off ice gathering, because we have way more ice than we need.
A science ship team has completed a task.
In Chapter 1, when we encountered the Black Market Society base, they talked about simian hybrids. Are those what happened to the Piranesi, the Black Market Society? Did they become those creatures? Were those things sentient? The storage area seems to have been the battleground for a large, violent clash. Workers attempted to repel an invader using small firearms and improvised weapons. Apart from the cutting laser marks across the bodies and containers, there is no evidence that identifies the invader. The large majority of the storage area seems to have been emptied, but after some searching, the Darwin's team located a number of intact cryopods and resource containers. Everything has been prepared for extraction, and now explore the industrial zone.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Now, let's turn all this stuff on. Let's start processing these resources. Alright, the command center. Now let's gather up that science. Chemical baths has been unlocked, so we're now more efficient on using up our carbon for make polymers. Let's now do the exact same thing for our electronics. You're going to be hyper resource efficient here. By powering the command center, the Barsheville's team was able to extract and analyze core mission data. The Etemenanki was a UN ship we knew about that, initially launched to find other exoplanets. Early data logs from their voyage indicates a glaring lack of preparation to accomplish such a task. In the absence of a habitable exoplanet, they seem to have concentrated on the search for what the UN had designated as enemies of humanity, Dolos and the Ashtanites. By boarding the Protagoras, the Etemenanki was able to locate Remus. Alright, that's it for that. Collapse Food Production District.
Population transfer complete. Administrator, We have found the Piranesi signature stored in the Etemenanki's destroyed command center. It is a ship unlike any other in our records, a formidable opponent, now in possession of the Remus coordinates. The eventual failure of the Tycoon's hull is inevitable. We have no other choice but to confront the Piranesi. Before we leave the system, we must find a way to develop an effective countermeasure strategy.
Was I the only one who heard someone else talking under Eden when she first started talking that last little bit? That was kind of weird. The industrial zone itself was devastated. Both factory machining crew were covered by flying molten metal as depressurization occurred. As the metal solidified, grisly monuments were created. Sometimes all that remains of a body is a cracked metal shell. Cryopods found in this area have either been covered by steel or compromised. Our team was able to gather some information about the Etemenanki's production methods. So that's creepy. Alright, let's see if we can find more. Let's see. We need to awaken 2,000 cryopods and have 20 food production buildings. We must find a prepare for the Piranesi, find a countermeasure for its attacks, build enough batteries so at least 4 sectors will have backup power for 5 cycles. Okay, we need to upgrade our batteries then. Stanford Initiative Workshop is required for that. Sure, we can afford to do that. Alright, Bargeville to the collapsed food production. Darwin, you're off to the reactor wreckage.
A science ship has arrived at its destination. A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Crux P-39. Alright. Sensors have located it. We are on site. This part of the Etemenanki was responsible for the ship's food production. Production was divided into 2 zones, vegetal and animal. We have also identified a self-contained area generating a heat signature. The area is small, but it is not impossible that some survivors may be sheltering there. Make a cautious approach towards the self-contained area. We don't want to risk killing anyone. Alright. We have arrived at the site. Only 2 of the Etemenanki's massive reactors remain. Initial reconnaissance revealed 3 pieces of interest. The thrusters, the engine room, and the engine supervision area. Let's check about the infrastructure's, the superstructure's final moments. Let's check the supervision area.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
That's section 4. They're fine. Oh, here come the people. Alright, that's done. Our production is fully upgraded. All right, let us focus. Actually, instead of building another farm, we're going to research algae farms. So we're going to build an algae farm. What is that out there? Another planet. Oh, that's the colonizable planet, it looks like. Let's do it. Yeah, probe has detected a new planet eligible for colonization tests. Alright. Upon entering the area, the crew of the barge were confronted by a UN soldier exhibiting extreme signs of dementia, yelling the words, "Die, Dolo scum." They opened fire on our team. The confrontation ended with the depressurization of the area due to projectile fire and the death of both the soldier and 2 of the Bargeville team. Investigating what they could afterwards, the team has concluded that this was a place of an indoctrination for the surrounding production zone workers. Remains of a statue dedicated to the glory of the Etemenanki commanders were found, as well as other art pieces aimed at condemning the enemies of humanity, Dolos and the Ashtiganites. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's check out the animal pens. Let's check out the reactor wreckage.
A new request awaits your attention.
The engine supervision area was mainly occupied by those of rank. Some had time to enter cryopods before their apparent depressurization of the area. Analysis of remaining computer infrastructure indicates that their directives were merciless towards the engine room workers. They treated them as expendable outcasts. Joy. There are traces throughout the entire supervisory direct of hacking attempts. All ship computers dedicated to the engines and reactors were compromised, preventing the Etemenanki from maneuvering and causing power failures throughout the superstructure. The Darwin's team has managed to extract remnants of the computer protocols that were used to do this. These fragments of code point to an author, the BMS, the Market Society guys. Relevant data has been sent to the Tiqqun's tech lab for more detailed analysis. New event pirate. Alright. Investigate the engine room. Now let's...
has been lost due to space weather.
Okay. That's concerning. Anyways, what's this? Administrator, we now have the data to analyze the Piranesi hacking protocols. The associated research project can be launched in the tech lab. This should allow us to set up computer protection systems to reduce the impact of any digital attacks. Hacking threat analysis upgrade unlocked for the Piranesi. Alright, that's new technology. A rogue spaceship belonging to the Black Market Society. Okay, but like I said, we're going to ignore that for a while. We're going to research algae farms instead. Sucks that that guy was a bit... He was brainwashed, basically. Like we were the first humans he'd seen in a while, and he'd rather shoot at us than survive.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun. A science ship team has completed a task.
What was that noise? The production area has been gutted for several hundred meters. The huge amount of floating carcasses has made it difficult for the team to differentiate between what is animal and what is not. The team did find several working cryopods and have prepared these for extraction. Production seems mainly to have been galliform, although there are signs that rare meats were produced. The Bargeville's team wishes to specifically note that they found a cryopod containing a dog. The owner seems to have decided the animal's life was more important than their own. The corpse hangs onto their... wow. Anyways, investigate the vegetal zone. What a waste of a cryopod.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Anyways, the Etemenanki's engines were not supported by a PA or even basic AI. Instead, crew members were constantly monitoring, adjusting, and repairing the engines and thrusters. Their living conditions were extremely precarious, and it would seem that many of them were either prisoners or rejects from the population aboard the Etemenanki. Traces of writing were found within some dormitory cells, referring to genetic conidus as the Ashtiganites. There are records of several serious breakdowns before the final explosion. Crew members would work waist deep in coolant, some dying while performing their tasks with a toxic substance. Those who refused were executed. Wow. Like, these guys are challenging us as the worst characters in this game. Like, we ruined civilization, but these guys did not build a good one. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.